welcome to the live stream of Aquarium Thoughts. This is the Aquarium Thoughts update special. Anyways, I have a lot of things that I just wanted to update you guys on. Basically, a lot of stuff that I never got back to on. I was supposed to make a second second part of my rescape, which never happened. Things got in the way, and so forth and so forth. Hold on for 1 second, please. Lane, can you close the front door, please? Thank you. Alrighty. Yes, too much light. I wanted to at least get rid of some of the light. Anyways, first thing I'm going to update you guys on was the eBay seller I had a rant on. Nothing big. Yes, I never got my plants. I did get my money back from eBay. They're good about that. Anyways, it seemed like that seller was just pretty much just a scam to begin with. Shortly afterwards, after that incident, they disappeared from eBay. Although I think they came back under a different name this time. I think what they do is they just post a lot of stuff on there and get people's money and run. Even though they had some reviews, I think they were just fake to begin with. They probably just had a bunch of other accounts opened up and we're getting people's money. So that's that. So that was pretty much it. Next update would be on Crimson and Clover. Basically, yeah, nothing happened. They didn't do any breeding. They kind of were just acting. They were just playing house, I suppose, as I would put it. And no fry, no babies. I think they're still probably too young for that to begin with. I don't think they're quite to the point where they will start breeding. But then again, being in a community setting anyways, it's going to be difficult. Just going to be a lot of other fish that are going to be problematic for them. But that's that. I mean, you can't expect a community tank to be a breeding tank. So yeah, nothing happened there. But I do like the fact that they are kind of pairing up in there. So that is my little update on Crimson and Clover. If you just joined me, all I updated was about the eBay seller that I had problems with, complete scam, and Crimson Clover so far. There's a next one on my list would be the snails I got, the little Roombas. They kind of look like little Roombas in the tank. My marble limpet snails. The one in the bedroom tank. Well, there's two in there. I did actually find the other one. It went missing right after I put him in there. But they're both doing well in there. I found the other one hiding behind my heater. So I still have the two in there. The other one didn't disappear. He just went into hiding momentarily. They are doing great. I was a little worried about the ones in my main tank. I had 3 in there, and all they were kind of doing was staying in the same spot for a few days, all on top of each other. But this morning they did move around. Let me go take a little walk right here, and I will show you that. Give me a second here. Gotta walk around. My son is playing Sonic right now. Let's see if I could actually switch around my camera here. And there we are. There's my main tank. There is one of the snails over here, kind of hidden on the ground right there. Still kind of in the same spot, but there were 2 other ones that were there as well. And I think my fish are thinking that they're going to get fed, which they're not at this moment, but there's one of them. I don't know where the other 2 went. There's 4 in here that I do not know where they went to, but I'm sure they're in here somewhere. Let's see. Scroll across. There's Clover right there, hiding in the driftwood right there behind the red tiger lotus. Let's see here if I can get a shot in there of her. Oh, there she is. Probably see her behind that red tiger lotus right there. All those tiny bubbles, that's CO2. I have my return right there running through the CO2. I have the CO2 line hooked up to the pump, so it hits by the impeller and it gets diffused. Nice thing about these red tiger lotuses in the way, it basically captures the CO2 where it actually holds it under its leaves, which helps in dissolving as well, which is the added benefit of having the reticulars there. And there's a better shot of crimson. Anyways, I'm over here to show you the other limpet snail right here, which is on top of this coconut hut. This one seems to love this hut right here, and it's been moving around the hut the whole time. Uh, it was at the other side, but it's doing great. It's moving around. And while we're at it, I'm gonna go for another walk into my bedroom tank and see if I could see these snails in there. Show you my lemon cockatoides pair that I also received from Aquatic Arts. I'm gonna just turn on the light here. There we go. Go down here, switch view. Try to switch view. There we go. And I do not see the limpet snails right now. I mean, I see a little snail graveyard right there of my Malaysian trumpet snails I have in here. I took out all the assassins, but there is Frank. That's the male lemon. There he goes, swimming, swimming, swimming. Let's see here if I can get a better side view right here. I do like the way his tail looks. I like the design. And I'm not sure. Yeah, there he is. He's kind of hidden by the Apanageton alvaceus and the driftwood there. And that right there is Frank. He's more outgoing than Frankie, which is the female. Let me see if I can get a picture of the female there. He's kind of hidden behind some plants underneath the heater. You can see her right there. Let's see here. So there's that. And there is my butterfly fish right there. I should probably clean out the glass on there. That is Madam Butterfly, who's underneath those roots. She's a little more skittish than Mr. Bubbles right there. That's hanging out right there. So there's my Mexican butterfly fish. And right now I cannot get a good view of the... Yep. Frank is chasing around Frankie, but it gets a better view of them. I don't know where the snails are at the moment. One hid behind the heater right there, and the other one was kind of in that back corner somewhere. I'm not quite sure where they're at right now, but I know they're still in here. They were active yesterday. So there's that on the snails. I'm going to go back to my other room right there. Is there sound now? How about now? Can you hear me now? Any sound? Sorry, this is my laptop. I don't know. I've never done anything on this. Any sound? Can you hear me? You can hear? How's it sound? Is it okay? Can you understand what I'm saying? Okay, anyways, I'm going to move forward now. Hopefully you can hear me this time. Sorry about all this mess right here. But basically, now I'm going to go with something I'm going to be doing future-wise, which is my aquarium stand. I don't know if you saw the preview, but I do have that kind of started. I got the wood for it. I got the parts. And this is my pile of lumber that I have that I'm going to be making the stand for. So that's one update I wanted to update people on as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability, of course. That is going to be my aquarium stand. Basically what's going to happen is this floor that I have in here, this carpeting, might be replaced. So I figured while I'm at it, I might as well change my cinder block stand into something more... what's the word? Better. That I think is the word for it. And of course, looks like I got some notifications on that. I did an update on Frank and Frankie earlier. You probably weren't here. I'm not sure if I had sound. I'm going to walk back into my bedroom and show Frank and Frankie. Those are my what was sold as lemon Pistogramma cockatoides, lemon variety. That's what they're sold as. I think they might just be the gold variety. I'm not sure. Yes, they do work great. There's a few issues with it that I wasn't happy with. Basically, something that I'm afraid that's gonna crack and all that, but I'll show you that issue in a second as well. But here is my bedroom tank with, let's see, I don't know, I can't see it from this angle, but there is Frankie, which is the female, right in front of the coconut hut right there. And I'm not quite sure where Frank is at the moment. Frank is behind that filter back there. I wish he would come out, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see, he's just hiding out in the corner right there. I'm not sure if he wants to join the show or not. If you could see him, that's great. I can't really quite see the angle where I'm pointing at, just because I'm on my laptop screen. And it's kind of hard to point and shoot on a laptop. No, very attractive. Yeah, they are not very attractive sometimes. This one is just the basic one. That I'm going to keep. That is my cinder block stand on my bedroom tank. Let's see. I mean, this is my cinder block stand on my main tank, which I painted black, which makes it a little more presentable, especially in the living room. That is, yes, all cinder block right there, except for the wood parts. And I do have a little cabinet on the inside of this where I have my aquarium stuff. I don't know if my food, some fertilizers. That I'm going to change out, mainly because one thing I noticed was this little crack right here. It's not quite flush. Thanks for that insightful fish keeping. Thanks for the compliments on that. Hopefully my other stand is going to be just as nice, if not nicer. So that's that. Another thing I'm going to be working on would be some tubs for live Daphnia, that way I could feed my fish that. I have a couple prepared for some live cultures that I'm getting sent from Sergeant Tank. So hopefully those come next week and I get that started, and hopefully I can be successful with that. I already did the brine shrimp. Another thing I want to try to do is also to culture some blackworms. The hard part is actually finding a culture that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. I try to get some from Aquaswap on Reddit, but that person fell through. And that's pretty much all I have for my updates right now. I talked about my eBay seller incident. If you're not aware, I ordered some plants on eBay. They never arrived. Guy ended up being a scam, I think, where he's just posting on eBay and saying he's selling stuff, but wasn't. Do you have any questions, Insight? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. That's pretty much going to be the end of my stream otherwise. But I just wanted to go over some updates, tie up some loose ends, something I wasn't going to record anything, but just decided to have the live stream on this instead. Kind of a little bit easier to do, just doing it all at once, and hopefully people see. But I think I'm going to head out. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry right now. What was Frankie? Frankie is a Pistogramma cockatoides. I sold as a lemon variety. I've never heard of them. Apparently, it's some kind of new strain from Europe. From the only thing I could tell from it, I think they're just gold cockatoides. Frank is going to be the male, and Frankie is the female. So hopefully, I can get them breeding in that tank. And then, of course, in that same tank, I have my African butterfly fish that kind of just hang out on the top. And that is Mr. Bubbles and Madam Butterfly. Yeah, I like Frank and Frankie. I especially like the tail on Frank. I like the design. I would wish that it maybe colored up more as he grows. But I like the design. It's not as bright as Crimson is. Crimson's coloring is excellent. That's one reason why I picked up Crimson. I saw him in the tank, and I had to take him home. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I'm probably gonna just end up editing things all together into one and post that later if anyone wants to hear. Your angels keep spawning, but haven't got past the wiggle stage. Unfortunately, I've never bred anything. I'm attempting to breed right now with the Epistrogramas and seeing how that goes. I'm not quite sure what people would recommend on angels. I know sometimes they might just be issues where it might be just inexperience so far, but I have not had any experience with angels, unfortunately, or any breeding. I'm not sure if maybe you could. I'm not sure if separating would be good or not. I don't know at what point you can on angels, but that might be one thing you might want to look into, see if that's possible. Ask someone with more knowledge on that. Unfortunately, I'm not really knowledgeable in a lot of things still, but that's one thing why I'm doing these streams is to actually gain some knowledge. But definitely look into that. Seeing at one point you can separate them, maybe. I don't know if you can or can't not. So. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave that stream as that, and you have a great day, night, and whenever you're watching this. And I hope my Pistogramas do great as well, and I hope your angels learn how to actually breed and get past that regular stage. That would be actually nice to actually be a good accomplishment. So far, yeah, phones phones can do that. But I understood what you're saying. Apostles doesn't quite make sense in the fish keeping industry, unless there's some fish called the apostle. I'm not sure. There might be something out there, but so far, all I was able to breed so far has been algae and snails. I've been able to breed snails. Even my rabbit snails, when I had those, I was able to actually breed those and get those going. Unfortunately, they started eating my Valsarian, or it might have just been the fact that the Valsarians were melting and they're eating that. So, but anyways, you have a great day, as well as anyone else who's watching this, and take care. And I hope your angels do well in breeding as well, and hopefully you get past that stage. So I'm gonna head out and have a great day.